Your brain is not fixed. It's not set by age 25. It's not downhill from here. That thing you've been told your whole life, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, is wrong, dead wrong. There's a 70-year-old in a study I'm about to show you who rewired motor pathways in her brain that doctors thought were permanently damaged. Not theoretically, measurably, on a scan. If you think your habits, your anxiety, your bad memory, or your skill ceiling are just who you are, stick around. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how your brain physically rebuilds itself and the 4 things you need to do to make it happen on command. Let's go. Here's the lie most people are living with. I'm just not good at this. I'm too old to learn a language. I've always been anxious. That's just my personality. No, that's just your current wiring. And wiring can change. For most of the 20th century, neuroscience actually backed up the myth. The dominant belief was that the adult brain was hardwired. Fixed neural connections, no new neurons, no real structural change after childhood. If you didn't learn it young, you basically missed the window. That belief shaped everything. Education, rehab medicine, how we talk to ourselves. Stroke victims were told to accept their limitations. Adults were told creativity and language learning peaked early. Millions of people quietly gave up on parts of themselves because the science of the time said the door was closed. Except it wasn't closed. It was never closed. We now know the brain remains plastic, literally moldable, across the entire lifespan. It's not one big general upgrade though, it's specific, it's earned. And most people who try to rewire their brain fail because they're doing it randomly, without understanding the mechanism. So let's fix that. Here's how it actually works, and how to use it on purpose. Quick definition, because you'll need this word for the rest of the video. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to reorganize itself physically by forming new neural connections throughout life. Every time you repeat a thought, a movement, or a reaction, you're not just practicing, you're carving a groove into your own biology. Okay, let's build the rewiring system. 4 steps. Step 1, repetition with attention. Neurons that fire together, wire together. That's the whole game. But here's what almost everyone misses. Repetition without attention barely counts. You've driven the same route to work 1,000 times, and you probably couldn't draw the map. Why? Because you weren't attending, you were on autopilot. For rewiring to happen, the brain needs to register something as important enough to encode. That means focused, deliberate repetition, not passive exposure. Practical version, if you're trying to build a new skill or break a habit, don't just do it more. Do it with your full attention, fewer times. 15 focused minutes beats 90 distracted ones every time. Step 2, use it in a charged state. Your brain prioritizes wiring that's tagged with emotional or physiological significance. This is why you remember embarrassing moments from a decade ago, but not what you had for lunch on Tuesday. You can hijack this. Mild stress, novelty, or genuine engagement during practice acts like a save this flag to your brain. Boredom does the opposite. It tells your brain this doesn't matter. Don't bother encoding it. Practical version, add stakes or novelty to practice. Time yourself. Make it slightly harder than comfortable. Care about the outcome, even a small invented one. Bored repetition is close to wasted repetition. Real talk. This is also why doom scrolling doesn't build anything. High repetition, 0 attention, 0 stakes. You could scroll for 6 hours, and your brain gets stronger at exactly one thing. Scrolling, moving on. Step 3 is the one people skip, and it's the one that actually locks the change in. Step 3, sleep and consolidation. Here's something most brain hack content won't tell you. The actual wiring doesn't finish during practice. It finishes while you sleep. During deep sleep, your brain replays the day's activity and strengthens the specific synaptic connections you used, while pruning away the ones you didn't. This is called synaptic consolidation. Skip sleep and you're doing the work without letting your brain save the file. This is also why cramming a skill in one long session underperforms spreading it across several days. Each night of sleep is a chance to lock in progress. Practical version. Practice, then protect your sleep that night like it's part of the training. Because it is. 7+ hours isn't optional if you're actually trying to change. Step 4. This is the one people hate hearing. Remove the old pathway's fuel. Rewiring isn't just about building the new path. It's about starving the old one. Every time you fall back into the old habit, old reaction, or old thought loop, you're not neutral. You're re-strengthening the exact wiring you're trying to replace. The brain doesn't know I'm trying to quit this. It only knows this got used again. Reinforce it, so partial effort doesn't average out. 10 days of the new habit plus 1 day of the old one isn't 90% progress. It's a live competition between two circuits, and the old one still just got a vote. Practical version, environment design beats willpower here. Remove the trigger. Don't just resist it. If you're trying to stop checking your phone at night, the goal isn't heroic self-control. It's leaving the phone in another room so the old circuit doesn't get fed at all. Let's zoom out for a second because I don't want this to sound like some productivity hack. This is bigger than habits. This is the science behind stroke patients regaining movement, behind people rebuilding their lives after trauma, behind someone learning a new language at 60. None of that is exceptional talent. It's the same 4 mechanisms applied consistently. Age is not the ceiling people think it is. Consistency is the ceiling. Let's lock this in. 1. Repetition with full attention. Not just doing it more, doing it on purpose. 2. Practice in a charged state. Add stakes, novelty, real engagement. 3. Protect your sleep. That's when the wiring actually gets saved. 4. Starve the old pathway, change your environment so the old habit stops getting reinforced. None of these require talent. None of them require youth. They require repetition, attention, and a little bit of patience with the process. Because visible change usually shows up in weeks, not days. If you actually want to use this, pick one thing right now. One skill, one habit, one pattern you want to change, not 5. 1. Apply these 4 steps to that one thing for the next 21 days and notice what shifts. If this helped you see your own brain differently, hit subscribe and drop a comment with the one thing you're going to rewire. See you in the next one.